Hello everyone, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I am Ramon, a Christmas design expert and seasonal decorator here to help you feel more comfortable about your designs. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 last minute Christmas centerpiece DIYs. You guys, the holiday season 2024 is just wrapping up as we begin to celebrate the season. So I just wanted to share with you 3 beautiful centerpiece DIYs step by step to help you create something beautiful in your table this season. So if you are interested in creating beautiful centerpieces, decorating for Christmas, seasonal decorating, floral design, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp. Why? Well, because it is free and it really helps this channel. Now, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, as that really also helps the channel. Are you guys ready to create some beautiful last minute Christmas centerpieces? Let's get started. Okay everyone, so for today's Christmas DIY, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you how to create a gorgeous traditional centerpiece step by step. And I'm going to start by sharing with you this beautiful urn that actually belongs to my mother. I hope that if she's watching this video, she's not like, oh, that's my urn. But I'm going to create a beautiful arrangement on this urn. I'm going to use some beautiful gold flyaways, some matte berries, some greenery, and of course some traditional color poinsettias that I believe it goes so well with this beautiful container. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these poinsettias for now, and I'm gonna transfer my flyaways over to this side so that I can get started in giving you all of the steps for this beautiful DIY. Now, if you are new to the channel, be sure to consider subscribing, and while you subscribe, don't forget to turn the notification bell on, because you will not want to miss any of the upcoming Christmas DIYs. The month of November, you guys, is going to be filled with Christmas DIYs and decorating ideas, and of course my home tour. So be sure to turn that bell on so you don't miss any of them. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm gonna start by adding some beautiful greenery, but before I do that, I want to mention that I put my foam in, I put some of this moss in, and then I grabbed some of my gauge wire, and I went ahead and add some S hooks into the foam to make sure that that foam doesn't move. So what I do is I like to do like a bobby pin. They also sell these S hooks at Hobby Lobby if you go shopping. I have some, I just don't know where they are right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring my greenery and I'm gonna start right here. This is how tall I want my centerpiece to be. Then I'm gonna go over to the left and just making sure that it goes on the foam really well, so that way it's not going to fall apart. So what I'm going to do is, remember, what happens on the right happens on the left, and what goes up must come down. So then we're going to do the corners. So I'm going to move over to this side right here. I want it to be wild and uneven, because that is the most beautiful shape for me, is when it is not so meticulously placed. What you do need to do is make sure that you cover all of this foam right here with some of your greenery, and that way you don't see your mechanics, what we call in the industry. You don't want to be able to see all of those mechanics. So remember, what happens on the right happens on the left, and then immediately you spin around and you go over to the other side, and then you do the same thing. So now I'm going to cover this corner right here. I am going to put this guy right in here. Remember, the premise of the greenery is to cover the foam so you don't see most of it. And we're gonna cover as much as we can with it. So I'm going to go ahead and add one right here on the top, and then one right here. Remember, by adding in the corners to cover some of these mechanics as well. So I'm gonna put one right here. Then immediately I move to this side, right on this side. All right, so now I have brought some of these beautiful David Christopher's eucalyptus. And you guys know that when I am making a centerpiece or an arrangement, I like to mix some of my greeneries so that way it looks more natural. In the floral industry, when we're making floral bouquets, we like to add as many types of foliages as possible, so that way our bouquets look more natural. And you know, I had a boss that said that at least one local greenery make your arrangements look more like they belong in that region. Like, let's say when I lived in Kansas, if it was spring, we used to like to use bushes like spirea, the grew local, and then also forsythia in the spring, the grew local, so that way our bouquets look like they were basically made in Kansas. And so I really do recommend that if you have some shrubs or bushes around the yard, if you live in a foresty area, right now is a perfect time to use some of that, what Mother Nature produces, so that way we can make it look more natural. All right, so far so good. That's what's going to look like as far as my greenery goes. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring some of these beautiful poinsettias that I am in love with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them all at once, because you guys know that I like to do that to save me time. And so I'm going to cut right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's start with this 6. And so it comes with this foliage right here. So what you need to do is you give your poinsettia a little bit of a fluff. And I do want her to spill out as far as possible, because this is going to go on an entryway table. So I want it to be as wide as possible. So I'm going to go right there. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. And what I like to do is always I like to, what I say, mark my height or my length. And then I also like to mark my height. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one facing north and the other one facing south like this. And then I'm going to spin around and I'm going to cover right in here with this poinsettia going down a little further down. So now I'm going to bring my other bush and I'm going to cut them all at once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you are using 12 poinsettias total. All right, so now I'm going to save that one because it's longer. So I'm going to bring a shorter one. See, this type of foliage right here that comes with your poinsettia, don't pitch it. Just go ahead and add it into your container, and that's going to help me use some of that greenery so it looks more natural. All right, so I'm going to add one right here. And then I'm going to grab another one, and I'm going to make it spill forward. So I'm going to go over on this corner right here. Then I'm going to go all the way to the other side, and I'm going to do the same by giving it a little bit of a curvature. And I just absolutely love this traditional palette, because it is what Christmas to me is like, you know, to create some beautiful traditional DIYs is one of my favorite things of the holiday season, especially this time of the year. All right, so I'm going to add one right there. Then I'm going to come over and do another one spilling forward right here. And I have one left one, but you know what? Okay, I'm gonna put it on this corner right here. I'm gonna give it a curvature, and I'm gonna add this guy right here. So this is what it looks like so far. It is just a whole bunch of poinsettias, which is fine. But now we're going to start to have fun. And remember our flyaways, you guys. These are our gold flyaways. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add one right here. And then I'm going to add another one. Remember, what goes up must come down. So you always want to make sure that you do that motion, so that way you are covering your arrangement. And then you spin around and you do the same thing on the other side. And remember, these guys just basically pull apart. I'll show you how. So all you have to do is pull on that stem, and all of that beautiful glittered flyaway will come out. So I'm going to add one right here, and then I'm going to add one right here. Then I'm going to spin around, and look how absolutely beautiful the burgundy and the gold look together. It is one of my favorite Christmas combinations. To me, screams Christmas. By the way, what is your favorite Christmas combination to decorate with? Be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know. Okay, so now I'm going to add one over on this side, and I'm gonna try to make it come out as far as possible, so that way it continues to spill forward. Do you see that right there? And actually, I'm gonna do both corners. I'm gonna do another one over here. And look, that just creates that drama going down. I'm gonna pull some more from this stem right here. You guys, I'm having so much fun this holiday season, sharing with you all of these beautiful Christmas decorating ideas and DIYs, and I really hope that you are as well. If you are, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and then also share with your friends, because that really helps the channel, and then it's free. So why not support this channel? If you want to support this channel too, you can become a member of the channel, and so that way we make sure that we are creating all of these DIYs. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I have this berry right here that is matte. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start adding this berry right here. I'm gonna add as much possible as I can, and remember, what happens on the right happens on the left, so I have to move to the other side, and I'm going to do the same thing in this corner right here. So I'm gonna add some longer ones like I did on this corner. So I'm gonna grab a longer one over here, and then I'm gonna start filling in with my berries all throughout my centerpiece, so that way it's all throughout and it looks cohesive. You want to make sure that you have all of the materials everywhere, so that way your centerpiece is filled and it just looks beautiful. I'm gonna add this one right here. I'm gonna bring her forward like this. And so I'm going to, let me see, spin around. I'm gonna add one right here. All right, so far so good, but you know what I decided to do is I'm going to elongate this centerpiece even further. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of these flyaways and I'm gonna spread them apart like this. Make sure that I pull all of these beautiful, see these ones glued together because that's how they come. All you have to do is just set it apart like that. And then what you want to do is just give it a curvature like this. And I'm going to add this guy right in here, making sure that I go through my foam. And look at that. Oh my gosh, isn't that absolutely beautiful? I'm gonna do one more. So just separate all of them, pull apart like this, and then go right here and go into the foam. And at this point it's getting really tight. Look how pretty that is. And then I'm going to do the last one on the top. So basically just separate them like this. I'm gonna give a little bit of curvature like this, bend it down, and then I'm going to go all the way up. And look how that just created a long and narrow centerpiece. But there's a few more elements that I'm going to add and we'll be done. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so I am back and this is what our centerpiece is looking like. Well, now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of my wire and I'm gonna put out my, I think it is a 18 gauge wire. And what I like to do is grab my 18 gauge wire and then I'm gonna cut them in half. So that's gonna give us, instead of 2, it's gonna give us 4. And that's going to allow us to play with our ornaments. And I think that adding a few ornaments, it would be so pretty. So what you need to do is just bend the little top like this, pull your ornament through and close it. So that way it gives you like a stem, but you have to make sure that that's closed so that ornament doesn't come crashing down. So you have this long stem right here, and so look what I'm going to do. I'm gonna insert that right there, and look at that. So the beauty of this is because it all allows us to do clusters of 2s. Once again, all you have to do is bend that, make like an S hook, hook your ornament. It's almost like a fishing hook. Then, but you have to make sure that you close it so that ornament doesn't have to come crashing down. And then I'm gonna add yet another one right here. Now you could do this with not only ornaments, but also with pine cones. You can attach basically just anything, and look at that. That gives us a cluster right here. So I'm going to spin around this side right here. I'm gonna grab yet another one. Remember to make that S hook. Hook your ornament. Close it. It has to be a 22 gauge wire because it's really thick. And so that way it's like a stem. And so now what I'm going to is I'm gonna open right here. I'm gonna insert right there. And now I'm gonna grab a glittered one just to be different on the other side. Once again, just make a hook. Hook your ornament and close it. This is the hard part because it's a really stiff wire, as you guys can see. So closing it is like the hard part, but once you get it done, you grab that stem and then you insert right here like that. And look at that. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna put the centerpiece over to this side to share with you real quick this absolutely gorgeous bejeweled ribbon. I have about I don't even know how much this is. It's this much. So what we're going to do is I'm going to look how absolutely stunning. It has that burgundy and that gold. So basically what I wanna do is give it a tail like this to let it hang out. Then I'm going to grab right here and I'm going to twist, letting another tail hang out like that. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a wire that is already pre-taped, and then I'm going to pull back. And I'm going to tie this real tight like that. And so we have done one loop and 2 tails, and look how I finished the tails at the end just by folding that ribbon right there. And so I want to make sure that this is really fluffed out. This ribbon is absolutely beautiful and is the perfect accent for this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a skewer and I'm going to spin this wire into my skewer to create a stem for the ribbon bow. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side like this. I'm gonna cut a little bit of it. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna point it towards me. I wanna see where I wanna put it. I'm gonna put it right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna open up right here. I'm going to insert this bow all the way down like this. I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna go like this, and I want this to touch the table because it's gonna be for an entryway table. I'm gonna give this a fluff and I'll share with you the end result. Keep watching. You guys, how absolutely gorgeous did this centerpiece turned out? Creating your very own Christmas centerpiece for an entryway table or for your dining table this Christmas season is so easy if you just follow these simple steps. Remember to keep it traditional, use a gold and burgundy traditional color scheme, and then add a gorgeous bejeweled ribbon, so that way is your statement piece. And look how beautiful it looks just touching the table. It was so easy to make. The ornaments really add that flavor of Christmas to it, and I promise you that your guests will be dazzled by this centerpiece in your home. Be sure to leave me a comment down below, and for more Christmas DIYs for 2023, stay tuned to Ramon at Home. All right, you guys, so for this DIY, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna share with you how to create a super simple and easy tabletop arrangements. For that, I selected this beautiful red container that is made out of mercury glass because it really goes with this snowy theme that I love so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some foam into my container, but then I kind of want to shave some of that corner and make it look more cohesive. This is also a floral tip and trick. We always shave the corners like this so it is even with the container, so that way it doesn't stick out too much. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of my flocked pieces and I'm gonna start right here. So I'm gonna start one going to my right. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. And then we're gonna give it a little bit of spin, and then I'm going to do the same thing by taking one step down. So that way it graduates going down like this, and I'm gonna repeat over on this side. You will see how easy it really is to make these arrangements, you guys. If you just follow all of these steps, you too can create beautiful floral arrangements. So now I give it another spin, and I went a step even further down. So you guys can see I have them all going the same way. I'm gonna do my right, and then I'm gonna do my left over here, like that. See how it's now a very step ladder motion going down? That's what we want. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add this really beautiful balsam. I'm gonna put one right here, and remember to enter, when you enter your stem, don't put it flat like this, but go ahead and give it a spin like this. And so now I'm going to twist around, and what I'm doing with this is I am filling in all of those gaps that I have in between all of this pine. Now I'm gonna insert all of this balsam right here. And you guys, balsam is one of my favorite greeneries to decorate with during the holiday season because it smells so good. And actually one of my favorite candles is balsam greenery. I just love the smell. It's like when you go to Colorado and you just smell all of that freshness everywhere. So I'm gonna enter one right here. Look at this, look how gorgeous this already looks. What happens on the right happens on the left. So now I'm gonna give it a little bit of height with this beautiful frosted eucalyptus. I'm gonna go one right here. Immediately I'm going to go over to the other side right here, and look at the texture just created with this. It's so pretty. I absolutely love this greenery as well. Then remember to step ladder down one. Let me see if I can take this out. No, I can't. So I'm not even gonna try. So I'm gonna put this guy right here. I'm gonna make sure that goes all the way in like this. How cute is that, you guys? All right, so now I'm gonna add some of this beautiful foliage that is frosted, and I'm gonna just go ahead and put it around the perimeter, all around the perimeter, and that's what's gonna help us to start to cover all of that foam. If you guys have not seen the owl centerpiece that we did last week, I'm gonna link it down below. It was so cute. It had an owl, and I call those characters centerpieces because it has a character. All right, so now what I'm going to do is continue to add some white and trying to cover all of that foam with some of these berries. And notice how I'm twisting around my centerpiece because I want to have the same element all throughout my centerpiece. And this one right here, you have to push all the way down to the foam because that's what's gonna really start to cover that foam right here. Let me see, where do I need? I need one right about here. So good, look at that. Just like that could be a floral arrangement on your coffee table, right? Well, now I have all of these pine cones that I have left over from projects. We're gonna use those. So we're gonna stick those down. We're gonna go, what goes up must come down like this. We're gonna spin around, continue adding some pine cones. I like the fact that they're a little flocked like this. I'm gonna cut this one a little shorter. She's a long one. All right, so I'm gonna add this one right here and this right here. This can be done, you guys, with all of that leftover greenery that we have from past arrangements. So now this is where the fun comes, and I found this really pretty pick at Hobby Lobby, and look how easy it is to just take it apart. You just pull it. As one, you have 3 stems, and then I'm going to try and cut this one right here. So now for this one that is a red berry and it has a little bit of a snow, I'm going to give it a little bit of a curvature, and I'm going to try to put them right here on the perimeter. So that is going to tie in the container right here. You know, when I learned how to do floral arrangements, I was taught that if you are doing, when it comes down to containers, if you're doing a red container, then we have to add a red element to our bouquet. Whether it's a flower, a berry, a ribbon. Sometimes, you know, if it is like a sympathy arrangement, you have to add a ribbon. Well, we add that ribbon, the color of the container, because you have to tie in that look. You don't want to have a red container and not have an element over here. And so for that, I chose the red container because I wanted to add these berries that I already had laying around. I said, you know what, let's go ahead and add those to my next arrangement because I absolutely love berries and I think they're so cheerful for the holiday season. Just make sure they do go on your foam because sometimes the foam gets tight. Look, you guys, how absolutely cute this is. So far, so good. So now the last step we're going to do, we're going to grab a 20 gauge wire and we're going to cut it in half. You guys have seen me do this trick. And then we're going to cut those in half one more time. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold them in half to create this kind of bobby pins. So what you're going to do with this bobby pin is you're going to go through an ornament right here. And then I'm going to kind of cross it so it locks in. And so now I'm going to use that. Look at that, to insert into the stem. How fun is that? For this, I selected some silver and then some red ones. So basically, just put that in there. You cross it like this, and it gives you this stem. Well, now we're going to insert that stem into the foam, and that's going to lock our ornament in. Super simple, as you guys can see. It doesn't take very many elements. So basically, just open right here, and you drop your ornament. We're gonna do one more. Over on this side, we're gonna do another silver one. We're gonna pick a shiny one, and then I'm gonna put my bobby pin, made up bobby pin, S-hook, and then I'm going to add right here onto my foam. All right, you guys, let me clean this real quick, and I'll give you a really gorgeous close-up. Keep watching. And just like that, you get yourself a gorgeous tabletop arrangement for somewhere on your coffee table, an entryway table. This could also be done as a centerpiece. If you had multiples of them going down the table, it is super easy to make. It's nothing but a few flocked greeneries and then also some berries and some pine cones and some ornaments. And you too can create a gorgeous and beautiful tabletop arrangement for your holiday celebration. What do you guys think? All right, everyone, so for this next Christmas DIY, what I'm going to share with you is how to create a gorgeous arrangement with a penguin on a sleigh. Oh my gosh, how cute is this? First of all, let me take the tag off. This is going to be so much fun. So what we're going to need is this cute little penguin. He is from Shinoda Design Center. How adorable, you guys. It is so, so cute. This metal slate also is from Shinoda Design Center. I'm going to use a beautiful David Christopher pick that I am just crushing over. It is so beautiful. You'll see the details in a second. I'm going to use, of course, some flocked greenery and some silver ornaments that I'm going to move out of the way for now so I can get started. So you guys, I already done so many centerpiece videos, And I'm gonna put them all down below so you can go check them out. You can see this large centerpiece right here. You can see the red one, which actually that's where the candle came from. This is a red and flocked one. And then we have this beautiful peachy one, and you can see all of these centerpieces down below. Well, in those centerpieces I explained to you the technique on how to green your container. So remember, what happens on the left happens on the right. So I went ahead and did the basic down here so I can move on faster with this particular DIY. So now what I'm going to is I'm going to grab a skewer and I'm going to cut it in half, and what I'm going to is I'm going to grab my pinwheel. I'm going to skewer it right here on the bottom like this. And then I'm going to place him right here. So basically like this. And I want it to be kind of catty-wampus, catty-corner. I don't want it to be too stylized or too perfect, because perfection doesn't exist. And for that, I have saved some of these greeneries that I'm going to now bring closer to him. So I'm going to go like this. Then I'm going to go right here in the back like this. So we're going to surround him in greeneries. Now I have this really long one. So what I'm going to is I'm going to cut it in half. And when you cut in half, what you need to do is just cut some of those pieces of greenery so you can have some of the stem to poke in. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one right here under him. And then I'm going to grab this one and put it right here. And I have some of these beautiful frosted ones. These are from at home. You guys, I'm always telling you to just collect when you are out shopping. If you love it, just get it, because the other day when I got this, I went back to the at-home store, and let me tell you, it's not anywhere close my house. And guess what? Somebody bought them all. And so I was so upset that I did not get all of the ones that I needed to share all of these beautiful centerpieces with you. And so now I had to make do with what I have. And so that's why I'm always telling you to go ahead and grab some of them when you see them. All right, so I'm gonna add this guy right here. So now I have some of these beautiful eucalyptus that I'm going to add. So I'm just gonna go around. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left, and immediately you move on to the other side. And then what goes up must come down. So I'm gonna put one right here, right by his feet. And then I'm gonna move, remember, all the way across. So that way it's all the way around. How cute. We could stop right here if we wanted to, because this is super adorable. This will be so cute on an entryway table, but who are we kidding, right? This is Ramon at home. This is not your typical DIY channel. We like things big. And you guys, let me tell you, this absolutely stunning. I don't even have words to describe this David Christopher's pick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it apart. As much as it hurts me and the inside, I'm going to take it apart. And let me see, how do I want to do this? I'm going to cut right here. Sometimes it is easier to just start by cutting that longer stem. And then I'm going to decide how I'm going to use it. So I'm going to cut right here at the joint, cut right here. See, that gave me one and a long stem to add. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it right here. And look at all that glitter. Do you see that? Oh my God. I'm going to take these little bowls. Actually, I'm going to cut right here. See how out of this one, I'm going to make two. You'll see. One with the cute little bowls and one without. So I'm going to add the ones with the bowls right here on the bottom. I'm going to look for a place where I can insert my stem, making sure that it's facing down like that. And that's going to give us the little balls and some of these foliages. This magnolia, I believe it's a magnolia. And this single one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over to this side. I'm going to insert it right here. Look how cute. That just adds all of the sparkle. And so now I have this one, and for this one I'm going to cut right here. And I'm going to have two with the ornaments, and be sure to fluff those ornaments like this. And then this I'm going to put right here on the back like this. And this single one I'm going to go ahead and bring over to this side like that. So now I'm going to bring my ornaments back into the picture. I told you it was going to be so simple. And I have this super cute ornament from Hobby Lobby. I love it because it has all this sugary stuff, and I just absolutely love it. So I'm going to cut a little bit of it. I'm going to put it right here with all of these ornaments. I'm going to kind of make a cluster with that. So I'm going to insert right there. And then also I have some of these cute pine cones that have a lot of snow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one right here. Make sure that it goes all the way down. At this point it's getting tight in there, but I do want to make sure that there is some pine cones. And then I'm going to add maybe one of these pine cones right here next to him, like that. And remember, what goes up must come down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another one, maybe right here on the back, right there. And then I'm going to add, you know what, this one I'm gonna put a little bit longer, and I'm gonna add it right here with all of this glittery stuff. I'm gonna add a natural element like that. So now I have some ornaments like this, and you guys know my trick for ornaments, right? I'm gonna share with you real quick. So I have this, I think it's an 18 gauge wire. No, I don't think, I'm sure there's an 18 gauge wire, because I've been lying to this whole time. I thought it was a 22, but it's an 18 gauge wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of this 18 gauge wire. I'm gonna fold it in half like this. Then we're gonna poke through our ornament, and this is going to be our stem to add to our arrangement, like this. So we just poke that in there, and look at that. That just gave us so more bling. How cute is that? So now I'm going to do the same. If you want a longer stem, all you have to do is to fold in half, and that's gonna allow that ornament to go in like this. Then you close it, and this is going to be your stem to poke in like this. Look at that. How great is that? So I'm gonna do it one more time. So you fold this not in half, but like in a third. You do kind of like a candy cane. You poke it through. You're gonna use this as your stem to poke. Let me see, where do I want him? You know, I think this is going to be our focal point right here, because he's facing that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add a few more here. So that way we continue to cluster them together, and there is an even bigger focal point with all of this beautiful magnolia and with this right here. And so now here in the back, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut this one in half. And so that's gonna allow me to do two more over here on the back. So there is one already here. I'll share with you right here. So it's a shiny one. So now what I'm gonna add is a matte one like that. And then I'm going to add these cute little ones that already came with a wire. Remember to work in sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s. Look how cute that is, just with the 3 little ornaments. And then there's another one, another little one, but I think this little one I'm gonna add right here. All right, I am back, and for our flyaways, what I gathered some of this fern, and I absolutely love it. It's got so much glitter, and it's on a champagne color. And the reason why I wanted to use a champagne color is to offset some of that white and some of the silver. And look at that, just by adding some of this champagne, we're going to really make a stem. And so I'm gonna put one going down that way, and then I'm going to insert one right here behind him to kind of give him that. Look at this, how absolutely adorable. And then I'm gonna add another one down here to do my set of 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna add one right there. And then I'm gonna come over to the front, and remember to have a longer stem. What you need to do is cut some of this stuff like this, and that's going to create a longer stem. Then you can just cut it a little shorter. So I'm gonna bring one of these right here. At this point, you could use your hot glue gun if you wanted to. I'm not going to, because, well, I don't feel like it, to be honest. I'm gonna add another one right there. Look how that drapes down all the way down. Isn't that just fabulous? Right. You guys, how fun is this beautiful arrangement with the pinwheel and all of the glittery stems from David Christopher's? I just absolutely love the way this turned out. It is so glam. It is also very frosty, and it would be perfect for an entryway table, for a centerpiece. Can you imagine this on a coffee table? And as you can see, it is so simple to make. I really want to encourage you to give it a try and get out of the box and just create something fun. Also, if you have kids and grandkids, this is just absolutely perfect for them, because it has that cute little character, and I just love it. What do you guys think? So what do you guys think? Which out of these 3 last minute Christmas decorating centerpieces was your favorite? I cannot wait to read your comments. You know that reading your comments every Sunday is my favorite thing to do. So be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know which one was your favorite. Thank you guys so much for watching this holiday season. If you want to continue to be inspired, I'm going to put a playlist right here with many more decorating ideas and DIYs, from Christmas trees, centerpieces, wreaths, swags, and everything that you need to know to create something beautiful in your home this holiday season. Thank you. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And as always, you can watch more videos right now. Until next time, bye.